Hello everyone, welcome to RPG Labs. My name is Dutchy and let's get into this video. Alright, so today we will be talking about my build. Now my build is extremely overpowered. I have literally lost 4 games with the Necromancer in total. And this is the entire time I have been playing. Now my current record is 43 wins in a row before I had a loss. So I think that's pretty damn good. And if any of you guys don't believe me, by the way, join our Discord, give me a challenge. I mean, I'm always up for some private matches to, fight people. It's always a fun game. So, come join our Discord and hang out, and hey, maybe we'll even just have a normal game of survivors with each other. It'll be cool. But anyway, without further ado, let's get properly into the video, and I'm going to be explaining to you guys my build right now. Alright, so we're going to be specifically focusing on one unit that your Necromancer has. No, it's not Evil Ash, by the way, and no, it's not the Skelly Elite, because, I mean, he's alright, but he's not that good. Now, the real thing we're working with is just these skeletons, the basic units. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, well, basic units are good, but elites are way stronger. I mean, they are elites after all, and not basics. But what if I told you that I basically turned my basic units into elite units with just a few little steps? I mean, these units are even better than the boss, I would say. I mean, Evil Ash is amazing and really strong, and it can actually summon a bunch of these guys, which is actually really handy. But I'm mostly focusing on these guys. I do have a little trick that I want to show you guys later, that I actually use Evil Ash with these guys for, because you can basically make like hordes and hordes of skeletons with them that just do not want to die at all. So you can basically end up with situations like this.
Through Deadite.
Looks like these guys are bound. Yeah, skeleton.
Now I did say we have to focus on the basic unit the most, but there's also a second that we have to focus on. Yep, that's right, the beautiful Flute Man. Now, we really do have to focus on this guy as well as the basic units, because together they are basically an unstoppable force. Now, this ability, by the way, is called FLUTE to kill, just for anybody who's wondering. Now, basically what these units do, they increase your damage by 70%, which is ridiculous. Then their reduction for damage taken is 30%, and then it has a cooldown of 75 seconds. Now these guys roundabout last 90 seconds, so that is basically meaning you can chuck 2 of these guys down at the same time, but it doesn't really stack like that. Now I would actually recommend putting 2 down, because if you got 2 on the battlefield, that means that they have to worry about 2, so they might actually kill the one that's already about to die. Now, once you reach level 25, you get a bonus 20% to your Flute Man's effectiveness as well, which includes the damage and the defense. What that basically means is that you get 90% increased damage when one of your flute guys is down, but you also get a damage reduction of 50%, so half the damage you're gonna be taking will be neglected. Which is extremely overpowered. You're gonna be doing almost 100% more damage by just this alone, and we haven't even touched on the proper build yet, which can make this over 100% easily. Also at level 45 you get Skeletal Injury, which does a extra 10% damage when there are skeletons nearby, which are basically all your units, so hey, that's, even better. So you basically already do 100. Now I'm not gonna be showing you guys every single perk that I have, just because, well, not all of them are as important as others, so you can actually swap some of these out for other ones if you'd like. For example, over here, Rocksteady Elite, I chucked that up to level 2, so, it just helps my elites out a little bit, but it's not very necessary for this build. So you can swap that out if you feel like. Now, the first perk that we really want to try get is Quick Charge Demonic Dash. This will basically lower the time for your Demonic Dash, and you really want to try use your Demonic Dash as much as possible in the early game to level up, get your Infernal Energy back, and basically you'll be able to do a lot more with your basic units if you actually have more Infernal Energy. Now with this build as well, you'll only basically need to get a little bit of Infernal Energy to actually do a whole lot of damage, so that's always a handy thing. But the more Infernal Energy you got, the more damage you can basically do. Now, I'd also recommend getting Rocksteady for your basic units, just basically making your basic units be a bit more resilient. Louder Warcry allows you to have a bigger radius for one of your main abilities. And honestly, that range is no laughing matter. I mean, holy crap, you have so much range on this. And it goes into a full 360 area, meaning that everybody in the area gets damaged quite a bit. Now, this is especially handy for when you are surrounded by a lot of players and you quickly need to get out of the situation with it. Also, if you do this around a lot of players, you'll be able to get quite a bit of experience from literally just one hit. I would also recommend getting Flute Force just to get that little bit of extra range on your flute so you can actually put them in places that are a little harder for people to get. I would also get Infernal Refill to get some more Infernal Energy 10% faster when you're doing an objective, which is actually quite a bit when you're doing the objective. Also, that includes the Necronomicon pages, the dagger, and the Necronomicon itself. Now, Widespread Skeleton Resurrection is also a really good one to have. I recommend actually putting this one all the way up to 2. Because even if Ash dies straight away, you can basically summon back all the units that die on Ash's body. And with this, it basically, takes a longer time. In place of 20 seconds, it takes a whole 30 seconds. So that's 10 more seconds, which is pretty damn strong. Now, I would also recommend getting Rocksteady for the boss. Now, this is because whenever your stagger meter goes all the way down to 0, that basically means that the enemy players have a free kill on your boss. So to stop that a little bit, use this. Now, I would highly recommend getting Portal Authority Basic. Now, Portal Authority Basic basically allows you to spend less infernal energy to summon your basic units, which is the main ones we are still trying to summon. Now, if you don't grab these perks, your basic units will cost 100, and that is fully upgraded in the game. But if you would go with these perks, then your unit will only cost 94, and that is literally for when you are starting the game. Now, if it's fully upgraded, you can actually summon them for 75. Now, this is extremely handy, especially for if you got level 1 Ash. Now, level 1 Ash is worth 150, which means that basically you can summon 2 hordes of skeletons, which will be a total of 6 if it's fully upgraded, and then you can also summon your evil Ash, who can summon even more units. So you'll basically have a total of 9 units in the area, and then you'll also have your evil Ash, meaning you are overwhelming your opponents pretty damn fast. Also with evil Ash, when you summon them, if you use your skeleton resurrection, basically you'll be able to summon all your skeletons back who are fighting alongside you, who just died. And if you would add a flute guy on top of that, that basically means that they have a lot more damage and a lot more defense, meaning that they're harder to take down. Now, even if they take out your Ash, it's no worry, because all of your skeletons in the area will still be resurrected until the resurrection thing is over. And also, you can quickly possess one of your other units, meaning that you can still be in the fight properly and do some heavy damage. Now, I would also recommend getting Health Razor for your basic units, meaning that they have 30% extra health, which is just always handy for the survivability. Now, Bone Rage is a really handy one to have. Now, permanently it will increase their attack frequency by 10%, so it's just a strong thing to have overall. And Skeletal Reinforcement is always a good one. It allows you to summon 1 extra skeleton when Ash is trying to summon a bunch of skeletons. Now we come to some of the real heavy hitters. Now, Heavy Damage Basic basically allows your units to do 20% more damage, which is extremely strong, especially combining that with the flute already. Meaning you're basically doing 120% extra damage instead of just 100. Now, I would recommend only putting 1 into Buff Bones, which allows the units that Ash actually summons to do 10% more damage, meaning they do 130% more damage. Now, with Relentless Evil, you can actually summon your flute guy quite a bit faster by 15 whole seconds. Now, 15 whole seconds doesn't sound like a whole of a lot, but trust me, in the middle of battle, you will be very thankful that you can quickly put down another flute guy. Especially since most flute guys only last around about 90 seconds, meaning that you can place one down, and then you can place down another one, and the old one will still last for a whole 30 seconds. Meaning that they have to choose between killing the old one or killing the new one, but most players will usually go for killing the old one because they know where the old one is. Now, the last thing I would recommend is getting Gates of Hell Basic 2. Now, what this allows you to do is basically get your units back on the battlefield faster, and you don't have to wait for such a long time. Meaning you can actually spam your units a bit more, especially if you got the Infernal Energy for it. Alright, well that's everything for this build basically. It's pretty basic in one way, but it allows you to basically summon a lot of your basic units and allowing them to do so much damage that you can basically overwhelm any sort of player. So anyway, hopefully you guys all enjoyed that, and hopefully you guys are having a good day. Maybe give us a like, maybe give us a subscribe if you feel like it. Hit that bell, blah blah blah, you know the whole YouTuber thing. But more importantly, come join our Discord if you want to have a game. There's plenty of us on all the time, so, you know, come have a few games with us. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Bye!